Oh, okay, guys. Welcome back to TRCD Retro Programming. I'm in a good mood today. A little bit tired. Pretty stressful week. It's finally over. Now I can relax. And I've been rethinking what else can we do with the Color Computer 1 and 2 that I haven't done yet. So this is going to be a quick, hopefully quick, follow along. Let's see, follow along program. So, you can copy what I'm doing. And this is just a freestyle. This is going to be base 5. Okay. If you know what base 10 is, base 5 is similar, but it works on placeholders that, as you work to the left, like say if I have a number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a big number. Let's try 1, 2, 3. Base 5, we have a 1's place here, a 5's place here, and a 25's place over here. If we were in base 10, we'd have a 1's place here, a 10's place here, and a 100's place here. So what I'm going to try to do is write a program that converts a base 10 number into a base 5. I don't have a clue how I'm going to do this, and hopefully it's going to work. So first of all, with any program we need inputs. So we're going to start off with print we're going to do this number, and it's going to be kind of funny, but let's see here. 1's. Alright, let's do this a different way. Print how many 1's. Okay, guys. Input O for 1's. 3. Print how many 10's. And I'm not putting a question mark here because the computer is going to provide a question mark. It doesn't line up with the printout, but that's just the way life is. You can do line input, I believe, but I'm not really sure how to use it, so I'm going to avoid that right now. If anybody knows about line input, feel free to make a comment. Let's see, it's not something I really focused on in the past. How many 100's? And in input H, and that's as far as we're going to go. We're just going to have a 3-digit number. So for instance, now and then once we do that, we're going to print A. Curtis told me to, what did he say? No, I can't remember. Oh, the semicolon. This also works when you're trying to CLS5 the screen, for example, to make it white. And you want to print something and then there's a bar after it. Well, you get rid of that with a semicolon. I never knew that. Thanks for that tip, Curtis. But right now we're using it just to keep the numbers in sequence. We're going to see how well this works. And I don't know why I'm doing ABC, but we want to do this backwards now because we want our 100's first, then we want our 10's, then we want our 1's. Now if I run this and I say 0, 0, 1, it gives us 100. Now the other thing is these giant spaces in between. There's been different ways we can get rid of those spaces, but I actually have no idea right now. It's been a long time since I did anything on the text screen. So anybody wants to comment on that, how to get rid of these spaces? If there's even a way. I know I haven't done a math program in a while, and I'm forgetting all these little things here, but we're just going to do it this way. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to convert, that's not right, convert to base 5. All right, so 1 should be 10. Let's list this so it makes sense here. So we're in base 10, and then we're going to convert to base 5. So this is going to be, let's see how we're going to do this here. We're going to say if O is greater than, let's see a different way. If O minus 5, okay guys, if O minus 5 is greater than 0, then print if O minus 5 is greater than 0. This is going to be tricky. We're going to start off slow. If O minus 5 is greater than 0, then print O minus 5. So let's list this. We're going to run our program, and for O we're going to put 8. For everything else it's going to be 0. Okay, so here we have our base 10 number, which is just 8. And now in base 5 we would have a 3 in this position, and the 5 would get carried over to the next place. Okay, so now that I figured out that part of it, we have to get this guy over here. So I'm gonna have to, and I don't remember how this works. When we print variables, it puts a space for, I know it puts a space for a negative sign, so that's part of it. Okay, but there's another space in here, and that just might be another space. So let's see if I can rectify this by editing 7. Then print, I could just count the number of spaces here. There's 1, 2, 3. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if that does it. I mean, it's crude, but I can't think of another way. And yes, it moved it over. Okay, so if our base 10 number is 8, our base 5 number would be 1, 3. However, we haven't gotten that far yet. Okay, and this is for any math nerd out there. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm actually um, well, I'll tell you that later. Let's just get on with this for a minute. If anybody else knows what base 5 is, go ahead and elaborate for other people, since I really can't right now. But I want to edit 7, and because I like to be consistent, there's no space right here. So we want everything to be consistent, not only in our program, but also in our program lines. Um, we're going to have to um, edit 7. Okay. Else print O by itself. So let's run this. Now, last time was 8, so we got a 3. If we use a 4, um, it's not 4 minus 5. I don't know what's going to happen here. We got the 4, but it's not in the right place. Okay, so let's edit 7 real quick and work with what we know. So we're going to have to put, again, quotation marks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know it's crude, but this is the only way I can do it right now. I'm not really too savvy about text screen math techniques as far as tab goes. I know you can use the word tab, but now it's in the right place. Okay, so if we have a 5, we're going to get a 0 in that place, but we should have got a 0. So we know that's not right, because we can't have greater than a 4, because any packet of 5 is moved over here. Like, if you had 9 plus 4 in base 10, you'd have a 0 there. Okay, and the 1 would be moved over here. Well, here, we need it. If we end up with a 5, we have a 0. Like, 4 and 1 would be 5. We'd have a 0, and the 5 would go over here. So I need to figure out what here is not adding up. So, okay, so I need to rewrite this. If O minus 5, now when this was 4 minus 5, we end up with a negative number, and that's just for the purposes of calculating on a calculator or computer. So that works, but we need to put or equal to in order to make this work for in the case of the 5. So we're going to try 4. 4 stays there. We're going to try 5 now, and now we get a 0 there, and the packet of 5 is moved over to the 5's place. So if we did that, we would have a 1 here in the 5's place, because we're doing 1s up to 4, we're doing 5s, and we're doing 25s. So we could have up to 4 in the 5's place, but no more. Because once we had 5 packets of 5, that would be 25, and the whole thing would come over here to the 25's place. So, now we're going to have to figure out how to move that packet over. So we have an if then else, but that's all we can do right here. So let's see where I can put in a another command that will get it somewhere else. So so if we're greater than or equal to 0, then we print that, and that's our smaller number. Actually, I can't even follow my own work here real quick. If O minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0, Jesus. I don't know what's wrong with this. I mean, it's working, but it's not. It shouldn't be. If and this always happens when I do math stuff. I get brain like fog real quick, especially when I'm recording live like this. It's difficult to think because I'm not writing anything down. So if O minus 5, okay. So here's our minus 5, okay. Now, biggest number we could have there would be 9. So no matter what it is, if it's, we're going to get a remainder, and we'll print that remainder. If we don't have a remainder, then that means we took 5 away and nothing more. So let's try it like, and this is just for the number itself. So let's try running this. We're going to put 9, and we get a remainder of 4, like I said before, because the other 5 moves over here, but I have to figure out a way to get that to compute. So let's list 7. So anytime we get a remainder, we're going to print that remainder. Otherwise, else print O. So so let's try if we have a 5 here, we get a 0. So that's correct, but then it's doing the original calculation. I'm baffled here. Let's list this program. So if we're inputting O, which is 5, and we're returning a 0, that's correct, but why? So we're inputting 5, we're returning a 0, but I guess it's doing the math here. which would be 5 minus 5. And if it was 9 minus 5, it would be 4. I would print that. Otherwise, it's printing this calculation as O. So it's automatically changing O to this new value, which was throwing me. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but that's what it's doing. So we need to figure out how to get this packet up here. Okay, and the way to do that is if we edit 7 and insert a colon here, it'll only go past this colon if the else is met, and the else will always be 0. So what I need to do is add that to T. So we're going to put print, and I'm not sure how many spaces, so I'm just going to leave it right now until I count the spaces. Print T plus O, or no, T plus well, we can only carry one packet over from the ones place, so it's just going to be T plus 1, I believe. So let's run this again. So why didn't it do this? Well, we have the 0 there. I guess O isn't having a value. Why wouldn't it print? T has a value of 0. Print T. So why wouldn't it else print O? O is still 5. Something's going on here. Oh, let's see. Oh, we're getting this 0. We're not even getting over here. We're going to have to change this. This isn't working right. Is less than or equal to 4. Now that should fix it. Then we're going to print that. Alright, then we're going to have to change this. Else print Jesus. Oh God. We could, I don't know. Let's see here. Let's try running this and see what happens. Something's not right here. Let's see, that's right. Let's try 9. We should have 4. Run 5. Print O. Still 5. But we're still not getting. We're still not getting to this part right here, which concerns me because I changed this. If O minus 5 For instance, 9 minus 5 is less than or equal to 4, then print O minus 5, right? ELSC, spelled that right. Else print let's try this. Else print O minus 5. Run. 5. Print O. Why is it doing this? We're not getting to this part for some reason. I think it's ignoring the else part again. I don't know why it would do that. I think I actually did a video on this before. So it's not recognizing this for some reason. I mean, print T. I don't know what's going on here. We should get a 1 here. Or we should get a 1 somewhere. Print T plus 1, we get a 1. So it's not getting to this part right here. Let's edit 7 and kill everything else after the else, because I don't think it's registering for some unknown reason. And that's what I thought. It's not registering. It just does if then. You can't have an else. So that, okay, so we can only have if then. We can't have else. So we're going to have to add on to this on a separate line. Let's keep this logical. If O minus 5 boy, this is a tough one. So let's do this. If O minus 5 equals 0, then now it won't be both of these, it'll be one or the other. Then print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. O minus 5. So now we're doubling up here, and I'm not sure why. Now we have 2 zeros here. Now that's because 0 is also, boy. Yeah, guys, I don't know about this. This is getting a little too confusing here. That's why we're getting all this mishmash in here. It's not coming out right. So this will contain 0. Unfortunately, there's no way in BASIC to use a number line that I know of. It's not complex enough, and I'm not sure how to write an application for it. I mean, we just have these basic commands. Alright, so we're going to have to, let me change this a little. This is going to be a long video, and I don't have much time left right now. I didn't know it was going to be this involved, but maybe I'll make a part 2 and just stop here. But let's see. Then we're going to kill this. Then 8. Let's list this. And we're going to kill 8. We're going to list this over again. This has got to be done like really methodically. So, okay. If it's less than or equal to 4, then 8. If O does not equal 0, okay, then or we could say does not equal 0, then print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then print O minus 5. Okay, so let's run this again. 9, we should get the 4. We get the 4, okay? So if we run this, we go on to line, if we run this and we put a 5, then we go on to line 8 and we get our 0. If O is not equal to 0, then print this. So why we're still getting a 0, I don't know. Almost here at 8. If O minus 5 is not, see, I'm missing things here, and I'm just thinking of them now. So if O minus 5 does not equal 0, now when I put 5, we shouldn't get anything. We get nothing. We don't get a 0. This is what we need. We don't get anything. Okay? So we'll get a remainder under the base 10 if it's 4, 3, 2, or 1. But as soon as 5 minus 5, Jesus, it's hard. If O minus 5 is not equal to 0, which would be 1, 2, 3, or 4, because it has to be less than or equal to 4. Then it prints the remainder, otherwise we don't get a 0, okay? Now we're going to have to figure out how to move that packet over. And this is going to be the end of this video, and I'll return on another video for the rest of it because this is really complicated. So if O minus, actually not O, if now we move the packet over if we get a 5, and we move the packet over if we get a remainder, unless we do 1. So let's run this. Let's say we just have 1, we get a -4. There's another problem. That should be 1. So that is another problem. Let's see. We're getting a -4. That should be a 1. So 1 minus 5. Wow, this is really hard. This might be as far as I can go right now. I knew this was going to be challenging, but this is super tough to do it on a computer. It's no problem. It's hard enough to do it on a piece of paper, but translating it to computer is even worse. So, for instance, if I put 2, there should be a 2 there, not a -3. If I put a 3 there, there should be a 3. If I put a 4 there, so we're good only if we go 5 or higher. If we do 5, we get there should be a 0 there, but I was working on that. If we do a 6, we get a 1. Another 5 goes up here. That's as far as I can get right now. I don't know how to get it to recognize. You know what? Let's just, for the hell of it, let's renumber this. I think I might have an answer. List this. Before we get to any of this, we're going to say if O is if O, and we can't, if O is if O is less than or equal to 4, then print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then print just O by itself with no math. And if it does that, We're going to end the program. So now we should be safe, and we are all the way up to any number. As soon as we get to 5, we should have a 0 there, but we're not there yet. And if we do a 6, we should get a 1. 7, we should get a 2. 8, run. 8, we get a 3, run. 9, we can't put any bigger than 9. There's our 4. So I have all of the bases covered here, except for moving our packet over and printing 0. So I'm going to end the program right here. That was a 40-minute video. I don't edit my videos, so please forgive me. I don't have very good screen capture or video editing capabilities and cameras and other things like that that most YouTubers have, because I'm just a hobbyist. I'm not a serious YouTuber, but I like to share my ideas with people and see what I can generate as far as conversation goes. So as I said, up here is base 10, down here is base 5. We've only gotten this far. In the next video, I'll figure out how to move the packet over here. And if anybody has any knowledge about base 5, base 5 to base 10, base 10 to base 5, which is what we're doing, feel free and chime in, because I've heard that it has applications for programming, but I'm not sure what those applications might be. If anybody knows, let me know, and I'll continue this on part 2 next time. And so that's it for right now. I'm going to get going, and I'll see you guys as soon as I update Tales of Suburbia. In the process of what is that word I'm looking for? Optimizing Tales of Suburbia so that it runs faster and in a slightly different way, and there's many less program lines. When I first wrote Tales of Suburbia, I didn't have any knowledge of pcopy, number 1, so I'm changing it to that format. And number 2, I didn't really know how to use, I really didn't know draw that well. It's kind of tricky to use, but for a small character sprite about that big, it took this many lines with line and p set. It was so redundant, I was able to reduce it to 3 lines. I was able to reduce a whole screen to 3 lines by using draw. So between that and using pcopy, I can get rid of all of the arrays that were sucking up the memory. I had so many arrays in this game, it was ridiculous, because I only had knowledge of get and put. And so I was getting half of a screen at times, or close to it. Half, a quarter, 3/4 of a screen, and putting that every time the character walked, and that's why it was so slow. So I'm going to not only reduce it from 500 lines per tape, where a level would be 500 lines, hoping to get that down to around 250, much faster in all regards. So that's what I'm doing. Ghost Saga is now on the back burner. Tales of Suburbia is on the front burner, and it's, I started it yesterday. I won't be able to post a video for a couple more days on that, so hang tight. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of this if you like math, and so that's it for right now. And I'm gonna try to think of some more applications for these TRS-80 computers that I could possibly keep the channel going. And anything that you want to see, let me know. I can't learn Color Computer 3. I don't have a Color Computer 3, and without actual hardware, I wouldn't even want to delve into it, because like I said, I had a Color Computer 2. You need to use the real hardware first and then translate it to an emulator, and it would just take up too much of my time. I've never seen a Color Computer 3 in person. I know you guys, some of you guys go to these Coco Fests. Unfortunately, I don't think I've never heard of a Coco Fest in my area. I don't know where those are normally held. Otherwise, I might show up. But I live in New England, and I've never heard of anything like that around here. If there's ever one in the New England area, you guys, let me know. Maybe I can meet some of you people. That would be nice. And I guess that's it for right now. So I'm just gonna hold off and shut this off and say goodbye. And I'll see you back as soon as I can.